In this video, I want to show you an example of evaluating a limit using the technique of multiplying by the conjugate of the numerator. Remember, our first instinct when evaluating a limit is to use direct substitution, but we notice in this example, if we use direct substitution, we have division by 0, and that won't work. So that means that we need to manipulate our given expression in such a way that we no longer have division by 0, and then we can use direct substitution to evaluate the limit. Notice in the numerator that we have a square root minus a constant. In these situations, we can typically clear up our division by 0 by multiplying by the conjugate of the numerator. So in this example, we'll multiply the top and bottom of our expression by the square root of 16 plus h plus 4, because the square root of 16 plus h plus 4 is the conjugate of the square root of 16 plus h minus 4. In the numerator, we have a binomial multiplied by another binomial. So this is a FOIL situation. The square root of 16 plus h times the square root of 16 plus h is 16 plus h. And because we're multiplying two binomial conjugates, we know that the O and the I of the FOIL process will cancel out. So there's no reason for us to even do the O and the I. So we'll just multiply the last times the last, which is negative 4 times positive 4, which is negative 16. Now in the denominator, we'll multiply h by the square root of 16 plus h to get h times the square root of 16 plus h, and then we multiply h times 4 to get 4h. Now we'll simplify the numerator, and the 16 and the minus 16 will cancel out, and that leaves us with an h in the numerator. And at this point in the process, it's important to notice that each of our terms in the denominator have a factor of h. So let's factor out that common factor of h in the denominator. And that gives us h times the sum, the square root of 16 plus h, plus 4 in the denominator. Now there's a common factor of h in the numerator and the denominator that'll cancel out. That leaves us with just 1 in the numerator. And so now we have the limit as h approaches 0 of 1 over the square root of 16 plus h plus 4. Notice that since we canceled out the factor of h in the numerator and denominator, we no longer have division by 0, and now we can use direct substitution to evaluate this limit. Simplifying this expression gives us 1 over the square root of 16 plus 4, which gives us 1/8. So this is how you multiply by a conjugate to evaluate a limit.